Hi, folks. As the community is expanding, and we have different people coming in, there's also a need to sort of bring in a larger context and larger view of different markets, etc., as well. So, in the group also, we keep on talking about a lot of other markets, and all markets are eventually correlated. Plus, with the way Go charting is expanding, there are feeds available for different markets now, the order flow feeds, the profile feeds. So, there's a lot of makes a lot of sense to start discussing and talking about different other markets as well. Okay. One of the common markets that we indeed discuss in our group today is the crude oil markets, and then there are other markets as well. So I thought I'll just start talking about some of those markets and start presenting a view, and then we can encourage and certain discussions around them, and it'll be good to sort of build on top of that. Okay. So we'll start with crude first of all. So what crude has done, if you see, last 2 3 days, especially, okay, it is trying to break below this October and November lows, which is sorry, the September and October lows basically, okay, and we are at the brink of trying to break through that. What it is also doing in that process is, if you see, if I just put on off the volume profile and other charts, in the process, I know we are trying to almost test the Jan lows, which is the start of this year. So basically, crude year-wise is almost tending to be net neutral, essentially. So it's back to where it all started at the start of the year. Okay, so this is the Jan low in crude. And we also had previous tops here. So I think this level around 74, 74.5 is an extremely crucial level of how this market reacts, because if you see the structure wise, we have done this, and then done this. Either we sort of bounce off here and or we rotate and further rotate off this zone. So these levels are extremely crucial levels of how this market reacts. And with the news flow coming in about China and COVID and other things, market can show a lot of volatile reaction as the ranges are expanding on crude. Okay. Now I'll go to the profile charts, what to give a more definitive clue what is happening here. So if you see, what is happening is, this is the monthly profile and daily chart. So we, as I said, we are now in terms of profile structures and everything, we are now below this September lows, October value area lows, and also tending those lows. Okay, so we've broken below these crucial levels, and until we really get above $80 level, it's gonna be a sell on rise on larger structure 80, 81, 80 levels. Okay, having said that, since we are at a crucial level, it could present a bit of a pullback and trade opportunity. So there are two levels I'm looking at. If and especially today, crude, we are consolidating at a very small range. Okay. Yeah. So one is, if you're able to sort of hold into this, today's lows, if you're able to hold into those lows, we would look to for a pushback up to 80, 81 in the next coming sessions, $80 range. Any move or any sustenance below these lows, below 74.4, 74.5, the chances are that we'll tend to drift lower and eventually drift and cover this entire value area range, which would take us close to the $65 mark on crude. Okay. So these are the two larger levels to play for, from 74, I think, to 67, 67 areas, or to 80, 80 areas roughly. Okay. Now, if you look at the sort of crude charts. Okay, I'll just bear with me, please. Yeah. So if you look at the crude charts here today, after this move down, which was happened at the early Asia session, it's been consolidating in a very tight range. Okay, there's hardly, if you see, the range is somewhere, only this range, which is roughly about a $1 range. It has been consolidating, right? So what I'm looking for is especially to trade a bullish view from here. If you're able to clear this value area high, or this VWAP or value area zone, roughly about 74.9, 75 levels. Okay, yeah, maybe start holding above this VWAP. There's chance that we look to push towards this 76.5 areas of Friday, or even higher above that. Okay, that is the one contrarian play possible. Alternative plays, we continue to sort of hold this trend down. So I'll not try to trade the first break, because there has been multiple attempts of a break, and it has failed through. So I'll look for a break below the 74 areas and a push, a pullback higher, and then to trade lower on that area. Okay, so that's the short side scenario for me. So Just to repeat the play here, we are looking at a long play if we are able to clear 74.975, okay, for target ranges of about you know 76, okay. Alternatively, we are looking for a short play if you are, we are able to close below 74 areas, okay, and any pullback then to 74.2 will be a short side play. Okay, these are the two plays we are looking at crude. Now, similarly, I also like to talk about gold, XAUSD and gold, how it is. So, gold, if you see, last week it had sort of moved down and then it has moved up in the late, Thursday, Friday move. So this is a very unique double distribution profile that has been formed on gold on the weekly charts. This is the weekly profile that I'm talking about. So my core play in gold is any pullback to any pullback to this 1750 areas, or if you're very aggressive 1755 areas, is a long side trade here for a opportunity up to 1775 ranges. Okay, so any pullback to this range 1750s 55, I'm looking to trade to 1775 areas. Okay, that is the primary play in gold. Alternatively, if you're able to, not able to clear this and break below 1750, then we will look to rotate back all the way to 1735. Okay, these are the two core plays on gold. One thing you have to keep in mind if you're trading gold, MCX gold, from an Indian point of view, because of the dollar pricing change, okay, the levels are different. So I'll give a quick context. So, uh, the pullback areas for long is roughly about the 17th lows on gold, which is 1750. Okay, here, but the low on equivalent low made on that same day, same time slot, for MCX is basically 52,800 level. So in fact, funnily on MCX gold, we are trading below that 1750 reference, but on XA USD we are trading higher that reference. Okay, so you really have to be mindful of that pricing change for USD INR etc. to factor in that kind of a move. So what you would look for is any support here which is 1750, but in our case that support would be a few percentage points lower. Typically if you see it is about roughly about half a percent lower, so you look for a half a percent lower move on on your INR as well. Okay, sorry, gold lower as a support range as well. So be mindful of that because of the pricing change. What was 1750 is basically was equivalent to 50 to 800 last week. Okay, and finally Euro USD, and this is another most commonly traded pair in the world. So we want to talk about it and see how it plays out, because if you remember Euro USD, a major thing was break below that $1 region, and now it has pulled back into that range, $1 range. That was a major event where because of certain things we pulled outside that $1 range after I think multi decades. Now it is pulled inside that range. If but having said that, this entire composite range is likely to act as a resistance. So I'm expecting a lot of resistance around 1.06 1.06 ranges on Euro USD. Any pullback to this ranges at 1.06 should be treated as a resistance for a low retracement move. Okay, but having said that, on the if you look at the weekly charts and weekly profiles, we have sort of broken out and consolidated and then again breaking out. So for the context from this week's point of view or the current market range point of view, expecting 1.04 to 1.04 areas to be a support. So any pullback to 1.04020 is a support. For your target ranges to 1.06. So crude, I'm looking for this sort of a play. Okay, and sorry, not crude, Euro USD, I'm looking for this sort of a play for this next 1 or 2 sessions. We'll keep updating on this, and if you like this multi-market view, just let me know. And if you want to add any specific markets, also let me know. We'll try and cover different markets and see how it evolves. Okay guys, have a good day and a good evening ahead.